This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by GoDaddy.
Coming up on Destructoid, it's the last day of GDC, and I've never wanted to go to sleep so much in my life. Steam is having a Ubisoft sale this weekend, and there's absolutely no news about Angry Birds, I promise. All this and more coming up on Destructoid.
Welcome everyone to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
So, last night's live stream.
Yeah.
That happened.
That sort of happened.
First and foremost, let me apologize for the technical difficulties that we had. YouTube's live stream service is still something that's, working its kinks out.
Yeah, they're trying it out. Presumably, all the silly things we talked about should show up in kind of regular video format.
Yeah, the video will be back up.
We'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Anyway.
In the meantime, let's get into the news.
Yeah.
You guys remember We Dare, right? It's that saucy video that Ubisoft put up and then promptly took down. People spanking each other and whatnot. Mollywhopping. Well, there's been some controversy surrounding it because it was rated for 12-year-olds when it's obviously disgusting and sexual in nature. Ubisoft finally responded to all of the angry parents by basically blaming it on Europe. PEGI, which is the European equivalent of the ESRB, released a statement yesterday that said, quote, PEGI does not take into account the context of the game when rating it. We only look at the contents of the game. We Dare has been rated as a PGI 12 because it contains mild swearing, minor assault on a human-like character, and words/activities that amount to obvious sexual innuendo, explicit sexual descriptions, or images and sexual posturing. It sounds like a good time, I'll be honest, but minor assault on a human-like character, what is this game even about?
That's not that sexy. I don't know. I had a chance to talk with someone who works at Ubisoft. I don't know if the Towns is talking to is kind of me moistly shouting, "Is that game coming out here?" And she said, "No, it's not. Stop shouting." And, a game companies say that, so I don't know. Catherine wasn't supposed to come out in the States, and then that's coming out in the States. So maybe it'll come out. I want to play it. I want to do some dirty minor assault on sexual people or whatever it is. So
yeah, it sounds like a good time, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But while we're on the topic of Ubisoft, Steam is actually having a huge sale right now on some of their titles. Their weekend deal this week gets you the Director's Cut edition of Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2, Far Cry 2 Fortunes edition, and Call of Juarez Bound in Blood, all for $13, which is something like 80% off the purchase price.
Go buy
which is
that.
awesome.
I'm gonna go buy that.
Yeah,
that's retarded.
Go nab it up. It ends on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so do it.
Yeah, and speaking of buying things.
That's your seg?
Shut up. THQ recently announced that their upcoming game, Homefront, has been doing rather well. And apparently they've taken in over 200,000 pre-orders for the game already. And it's got another 2 weeks until it's released, so that's kind of nuts. THQ's been around for over 20 years, so that's pretty crazy that this is their biggest release. And I'm kind of surprised because working up close and personal with video games like we do, it's kind of hard to tell what the general public feels about things. But I didn't know that Homefront was like that.
I'm the same. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was
but at the
popular.
same time, you get people who are like, shit talking casual games like Angry Birds, and look, that totally took off. So.
Actually, now that you mentioned, I have a story about Angry Birds.
Okay, well, I kind of figured that would happen, so
you had
take
your
it away.
turn, Max. Now it's mine, okay?
Talk about your pissed off
Angry Birds hit a pretty big milestone today, you guys. One of the guys from Rovio was speaking at a conference at GDC this week and casually dropped the info that Angry Birds has now been downloaded over 30 million times on Android phones alone. And not just that, they apparently have crazy customer retention too. Something like 80% of the people who download it are still playing it and continuing to download updates for it, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, what's the addiction rate for heroin?
I really wouldn't know, Max.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah, it's pretty timely news actually, since I just read on the Nielsen Company's blog, they're the people who do the TV rating stuff, that Android has just surpassed Apple and BlackBerry as the leading phone OS in terms of consumer market share. So. Score one for the T-Bird.
Yeah, well, I still have a BlackBerry, so I'm gonna just go home and cry about that.
You do that.
As you guys can probably tell from the longer episodes this week, 17 minutes, good lord. We've got a lot of news. So we ran into Jeff Kanata from Totally Rad Show, and he explained how things work.
He made sense of it all.
He's a grown-ass man and a journalist. Roll the clip.
Hey, we're here with Jeff from the Totally Rad Show.
He's pretty rad.
What's up?
What's up? I'm rocking GDC. How are you guys doing?
We've seen some stuff here. We saw a few things.
Your feet hurt already? It's only day 2, bro. It's only day 2.
Man
Well,
up.
we wanted to know what did you like? What are you excited about? What's the cool stuff? What's the fun stuff?
Well, there's a few things I'm not allowed to talk about yet, as I'm sure you guys have. There's all this embargo stuff. What's up with the embargos?
Perils of
They like to take the
GDC.
fun out of video games. It's wonderful.
But I can say that I think the thing that blew me away the most was Battlefield 3. That game really rocked my world as far as just the engine. Frostbite 2 engine, they debuted. It looks absolutely stunning. It's a PC as the lead platform, and it's one of those games like when I was growing up where I want to buy a new computer just for this game. Yeah, but it looks spectacular. It really does feel like the next evolution of that military first-person shooter. And I was really blown away. Just the destructibility of the environments, the animation system that they use for the characters. It looked like I was hanging out with real people. It's pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's ridiculous. Is there anything else that?
Yeah, I just came from seeing Arkham City, the new Batman game, which they showed at the Microsoft event last week. But it was the first time I'd seen it in person, and man, that first Arkham Asylum game was one of my favorite games that year. And this looks like it's just amping up. But yeah, it's Assassin's Creed is sort of like Batman if he was in the 1400s. Now it's Batman is in an Assassin's Creed game basically. It's a big open world city, and I can choose which missions to do next. So sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be
I
Batman.
like that. I like it.
3DS.
Oh man.
Your thoughts?
I love the 3DS, and it's exactly the kind of device that you hand it to someone, even if they're skeptical, and I believe that playing with it is like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I just had that moment actually because I'd been talking about it so much before this, and I had never actually seen it in person up
Yeah.
until like an hour ago, and I was pretty
Isn't
blown
it?
away.
It makes you a believer, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. It's something. It's totally the type of thing that you have to see in order to
Yeah.
believe. Totally. People are saying, it can be headache-inducing, and I can see that after having played with it for.
Well,
a few
Tara,
minutes.
you could be headache-inducing, but people
Well,
still
you know
like
what,
you.
Max? I'm not going to say anything mean.
Why do you have to do
because
this when
our
we have
guest
company?
is
We have
here.
company.
I hate it when mom and dad fight.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
Sweetheart, we'll get you a 3DS. It's okay.
Thank you so
I
much
love
for
you more.
talking with us today, though. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys.
And you guys should go watch the Totally Rad show because it's totally rad.
Yeah.
Jeff is awesome.
I like Jeff. Jeff is good. So thanks, Jeff, for talking to us and humoring our
Not being
dumbness.
weirded out, yeah.
You can check out the Totally Rad show Monday through Friday at revision3.com/TRS and youtube.com/Totally Rad show. We got a lot more coming up. Tara, will you do the sponsor read, please?
Gladly.
We have
I
sponsors.
gladly will.
Do it.
With GoDaddy.com, you can get reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99.99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. And remember, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry app to order right from your phone, manage your current domains, and much, much more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3. For example, if you use the coupon code TOID3, TOID3, you can get any .com domain you want for just $7.99. Seriously, whatever you want. Think of the possibilities, Max.
If somebody jumps on squidbear.com, I'm going to be mad.
It's actually open. I know
Okay.
because I
Dibs, guys.
Yeah.
Unless you really want to mess with me, in which case I totally encourage it. Somebody got Squid Bear on Nintendo Online, so I'm.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway.
Fucking A. Okay, well, let's get back to the news. It's hard to believe, but today is officially the last day of GDC. I know. Any weight I lost from running around this week, it's totally canceled out by the 10,000 calories of alcohol I
Yeah.
drank.
This has been one of the funnest weeks. It's been like
It
spring
really
break.
has.
It's crazy.
GDC is. I'm honestly having more fun here than I did at PAX. I don't know. There's just a lot of nifty stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of it is under embargo that we can't talk about yet. But we thought it might make sense to take a look back at the last week and give imaginary awards to different categories of the show.
So it's probably best if you just pretend that we had announced nominees ahead of time and had some voting procedure, and we actually had plaques or trophies. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We wrote this episode.
We're
this
listing
morning.
our favorite things. Okay, it's an
Things.
award show. Let's go.
Do it. First up is our award for Best Surprise of GDC, and it's the game Slambolt Scrappers. It's a PSN exclusive that's coming out on March 15th, and the best way of describing it is kind of like a mix between Super Smash Brothers and Tetris and maybe like Brick Breaker.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer friendship ruining ADD simulator.
Love
It's
it.
crazy. You up to 4 people pick characters, and you try and build different towers by stacking colored blocks. If you get 4, it's like Tetris. If you get 4 of the blocks that are the same color, they form into a cannon, and you're trying to build a tower, not get rid of blocks, and you're going around and you're beating up your friends at the same time, and there's like aliens flying around and you punch them and they turn into blocks and there's power-ups and you can like...
It's fun. It's fun, okay? Playing it is a lot more fun than it sounds like. And there's also move support and a beverage mode, so you can literally like play while you're drinking a beer.
Yeah.
That is my kind of game, man.
I love this. Like we went in there, we didn't really know what to expect. We were like, yeah, sure, yeah, okay. And then we sit down, we play it, and we were just shouting at each other and screaming and swearing and had the best time. So, yeah, that's a big surprise.
March 15th.
You win. Go check this out. It's March 15th, PlayStation Network.
Next up, best tech we saw at GDC. If you guys watched the live stream last night, then you probably already know what our answer to this is. But it's a pretty important award since pretty much the entire point of GDC is to show off all the cool tech. Like video games are just kind of a background theme. It's really about all the awesome things that very smart people are doing. And obviously there was a buttload of 3D gear out on the show floor, but by far the coolest thing we saw was the eye tech.
Okay,
Explain to the people what it is.
God, it's the Kinect. Okay, you know the Kinect. You move your body. You're the body's a controller. You use your eyes. You use your. It's the coolest thing. They had a laser rigged up, and it was. Look where you want the laser to go. It's like Predator's shoulder cannon. So they have that. It's also the number one use is for people with disabilities.
Yeah, which is awesome because I know we've covered stories like that on the show.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's got like a crazy amount of uses, and it's the most high-tech thing I've ever had my hands on.
It's awesome.
It's amazing. I typed max rules by standing there and looking at a screen. Like
I
typed it out.
We are one step closer to becoming cyborgs, Max.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So there's that.
Yeah.
Moving on, most of the cool shit that goes on at GDC is behind closed doors, and you have to sign agreements saying you won't ever talk about it again. But that's not to say that there's nothing on the show floor. Obviously, they got like laser eyes and things. But the next category is. What is it? It's the favorite show floor thingamajig. So it's a vague excuse for our favorite thing. I get to talk about Mortal Kombat. The new Mortal Kombat, it kicks ass. I love it. I think it's great. It's violent and it's ridiculous and it looks amazing and it makes me feel like an 8-year-old again. And it's so brutal and it's so pretty and they didn't try and redo anything too much and it's just. It's got 3D support, but it's not too 3D. So it's like if you have glasses, that's cool. It just kicks ass. It's freaking Mortal Kombat,
That's
and
really
they
good.
did it right. I'm stoked. I'm happy
I
it's
watched
back.
you play it, and it looks really nice. It looks really nice.
It looks revolting, but in a good way.
Well, it's lovely.
I think I ripped out someone's liver. Like
you did. You ripped out chick's heart.
Ripped out
Not her
Katana's
heart.
It
was like her stomach.
and
or
she
something.
won. I wasn't
she
a fatality.
Lived after that.
She beat me up after I ripped out her friggin' appendix or
That's
whatever.
how terrible Max is at video games. So. Probably the coolest thing that I saw was the 3DS, just because I'd never seen it before. Like we've talked about it so much on the show over and over. And this was my first time seeing it. I got to play Zelda Ocarina of Time in 3D, and it was amazing. I have nothing more to say about it other than you have to see it to really know how awesome it is.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the NGP wasn't there. That was a big disappointment for us.
The NGP was there. It was just encased behind bulletproof glass, and it wasn't turned on. So that was really exciting. It was just like chilling in the corner of Sony's booth, and like a few people were sort of looking at it like, it's not doing anything. Biggest disappointment for me just goes to the sheer quantity of embargoes and things we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's like it's PR and it's advertising and it's the business, but like if you're gonna announce something at GDC, announce it. Like, don't tell us like, look at this week. Come on, everybody, come see this, and then don't talk about it until Friday. Like, I mean, like this is GDC. We're out doing things. We want to be doing stuff. We want it to be GDC coverage, not like.
We want to tell you guys stuff. We don't want to have
There's
to
so
keep
much we
these.
wanna tell
I'm
you.
terrible at keeping secrets, Max.
I
I'm
know
awful.
the coolest things right now. The coolest stuff.
You guys wouldn't believe what we know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's actually not that exciting. There's some cool stuff
No,
though.
it's pretty cool.
Next
though.
week
Like,
there's going to be news popping up like on and off. So
yeah, I was gonna say like I really wasn't truly disappointed with anything that I saw there. One thing that I was slightly disappointed with, I guess, was the Xperia play.
Yeah.
I didn't play it for that long. I went over to the booth and I got put in Xperia play handcuffs, which is where the people tell you everything that you already know about it. I thought the touch analog controls were kind of janky. I was playing Dungeon Defenders on there, and it was actually easier to play on the iPhone's touch screen. So.
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. It's a cool phone. It's not an amazing gaming thing. That's probably why they didn't call it the PlayStation phone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool stuff there. A lot of cool stuff. Talk about the best game. Best game? You want to do best game? I guess the video games. Yeah,
Do we have
okay.
to talk about video games, you guys?
Shit. Yeah, well, picking the actual.
Well, we talked last night about how amazing the Deus Ex Human Revolution
yeah,
trailer.
it's okay.
Okay.
And Battlefield is whatever. No.
It's tough.
Best game of the show, hands down, Burgertime HD.
What is that about?
You're a chef and you run around and you're making hamburgers, but they're huge. They're giant It's a remake of it's Burgertime. And there's like sausages that chase you, and you have a salt shaker.
That
and a
actually
spatula.
sounds like the most amazing thing. Can
Oh,
we
no,
just
it
give the
kicks some
award to
ass.
Burgertime HD?
Yeah, it goes to Burgertime HD.
Sweet,
Because
okay.
Battlefield 3, it's very exciting. Dead Island, okay,
Yeah,
that's
fuck that
nice.
noise.
Deus Ex,
Okay.
that's cool. Burgertime HD.
Off
Yeah.
the Chizane.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on to our final award, the best.
Is it the best? Is it the best?
Second to last.
Second to last.
Second to
That's
last.
What, that's what
okay,
penultimate
sorry,
means.
the most important one. The Best Indie Awards show host. This one is easy, right? I mean, Anthony
of course,
Carboni,
yeah.
our friend from Bytejacker, was hosting the IGF Awards.
Yeah, he's so indie.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, right?
You'd think so. Except Tim Schafer hosted the GDC Awards. And fun fact about Tim Schafer, he was a playtester for LucasArts on Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade way back in 1989. And let's face it, Indiana Jones is the original indie game. So the award goes to Tim Schafer.
That works for me. Sorry, Anthony.
Sorry,
Maybe
Anthony.
next year.
Yeah, whatever. But
Better luck next time.
yeah.
On to our final award, our real one. This is the one you guys have all been waiting for since we announced this 10 minutes ago. The Best Embargo of GDC 2011.
This is going to be pretty exciting. Are you guys ready for
There's
it?
so much to choose from.
Okay, here it is. In you get to play as
That is fucking incredible,
Yeah,
Max.
I know. What are you guys going to do? I mean, I'm
Holy
sorry.
shit, no, that's seriously life-changing news.
You know, I tell you guys you get to play and it's like, haha, I want to do that.
I cannot believe they added that to that.
Yeah, but you guys don't know what it is, so you'll find out next week or something, whenever the hell they say we
Yeah.
can. So, good night.
Good night.
We love you.
I need sleep. Dear God.